Good evening and hello everyone and welcome to the Success Vitamin Talk with me, Pritha Dubey. I'm a sales professional turned a sales coach and the creator of Success Vitamin. In today's episode, I have a very interesting profile as a guest with me. His name is Ash Shukla. Ash is a holistic business consultant. His specialty lies within helping you build a business that you can sell and have a good life. He runs an online academy called Financial Chakras that helps business owners and entrepreneurs achieve the ultimate balance between business, finance, health, wellness, and spirituality. Interesting, isn't it? So, without wasting much of our time, let me quickly invite and welcome Ash here. Ash, welcome to the Success Vitamin Talk.
Thank you so much, Prasad. Thank you so much for having me here.
It's our pleasure. So, Ash, first and foremost, you have been an immigrant to US, and you have been a success.
Thank you.
So, what I would like to understand from you is that how did you make it? How did you make it, and what drove you? What were those driving forces that kept you going forward in an unknown world, in an unknown land, and yet you could come out so successfully?
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for asking the question. So, what I have found is that, of course, your desire, right? So when we came here with $20 and I didn't know English, at all, I was studying in Gujarati medium in Gandhinagar, in India. So when I came here, I really did not know any English. I really had a very small understanding of what English was. And so when somebody, when we come here, right, one of the biggest things is that we know we have nothing. Like we have $20 in our pocket. Some people come here with $10 in their pocket, right? Like very little money. So the only thing we have to rely on is our ability to work hard, and we have to completely believe that we're going to make it, right?
Right.
So what transpired with me was, since I was a child, I was a naughty child. I was not, I always got in trouble. That was just me.
Okay.
Since I was a child, I was the first grandchild in the house and things like that. And but more importantly, you know, um, since I was a child, like I was loved a lot, but at the same time, I was also told as I was growing up when I was in my teen years. Everybody told me, look at your cousin, he's going to be a doctor. Look at this, he's going to be an engineer.
Usual.
And I never had interest in, sorry.
It's usual of our society, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I always, was criticized a lot because of, I have I have this tendency to focus, right? And when I focus on something, zoomed in really fast.
Okay.
But my downfall had been, is that I wasn't able to. I was looking for my passion, right? I was looking for something that I would really like love to just eat it up and have some fun with.
Okay.
So as I was being told, one of the things I knew since I was a child, that I wanted to make something big. Like one of the determinations, my dad had sold everything to come here. He was working at the government job in Gandhinagar.
Hmm.
So making a little bit of money, coming from middle to maybe middle class, if you want to call it that. At I think he was making like 1,500 rupees a month back then, or something like that. Very little money.
Okay.
So I always had the desire to do something. I had made up my mind since I was a child that I wanted to do something great, something big, something different than anybody else that have done. And one of the biggest things that has helped me is the thought process. The second thing that helped me was self-help. I got introduced to self-help since I was 94. I mean, I was not 94, but I was 21 in 1994.
That was
I'm
interesting. I was about to ask you, oh my God, what's the secret?
secret is you you by mistake say the year wrong.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I understand
So,
that. Yeah.
so since I was 21, in 1994, I was introduced to the self-help, and that's when
Mhm.
I really, I was thankful for that, because that helped me tremendously to help me understand that, okay, the only way I'm going to make this is, slowly but surely. It's not going to be a overnight success. It's not going to be even though as a young child, I wanted overnight success, and, like young blood, I just wanted to make it big, like really
Right,
fast.
right,
And
right, right.
over time, you realize that is hard work, dedication, and tenaciousness, and you really have to, keep on going at whatever field you are going in. And
Absolutely.
that's what really, made everything for me. I was managing like $300 million in the financial world, and I helped so many businesses. But I have learned over time that it's a process,
It's a
and
process.
you have to submit to the process.
A very, very valid point. You have to submit to the process. Absolutely. I think your story really is a living example of what you just said. The dedication, hard work that goes behind every success. No one can ever achieve success without these elements being put into it, right? So this is an interesting name that you have given to this academy that you run, Financial Chakras. And I also see a very interesting background, which I believe has to do something with this entire concept of financial chakras, right? So
Yes.
why don't you just tell us a little more about what is this financial chakras?
Yeah, so financial chakras is, until now, chakras have been talked about as the principles of the body. And so what happened with me, Pritha, was that in 2007, I was running my financial services company. So after basically college, I ran into financial services in 1994.
Okay.
And I was not bad, I was pathetic, couldn't close anybody. I had to blackmail my dad to my mom to close my first sale, and that's how bad it was, right? So as time was going on, and I'm looking at this, and I'm going, okay, I want to make it, right? And so I was prospecting, I was doing things that I had to do to make it. So as time has gone on, I was working with several banks and things like that. Then I started my own company. I was successful with my own company as well. Like first year we did 800,000, second year was 2 million, third year was 3.7 million, fourth year was over 5 million, and fifth year we went over $10 million, right? So I mean, like,
Wow.
pretty decent numbers.
Wow.
But what I discovered during this path is there was a time where, like when you're looking at chakras, or when you take a look at energies, obviously, I'm flying high, like I made it, right? I had a ride and that kind of feeling. So, but somebody during this time, like me having a trained eye for being a financial advisor for 26 years, back then it was, 15, 20 years. So what had happened was somebody scammed me, right? So I lost, a lot of money. So I went within, I got quiet, and then my grandfather was my hero. I was talking with him, and he talked to me about chakras and stuff like that, and he helped me understand how they function, what really what's going on with me.
All right.
Once he explained it to me, once I understood it, I asked him an interesting question, Pritha. And the question was, I said, so has anybody, once I was clear and I understood what happened and
Hmm.
where I went wrong,
Hmm.
and I said, I never want to have this happen to me ever again. I want to make sure
Hmm.
that I am going to be rock solid from here on out. And this is 2007.
Wow.
So I'm talking to him, I'm discussing this with him. And, as I said, has anybody proven how chakras are rules of the universe? And he's like, nobody has ever done that.
Okay.
I said, okay. So, then I said, okay, so maybe I can do that. So I started putting my head on, a financial head on, and I said I got to prove it in quantify it in reality.
All right.
So I started putting together. I started making things from each chakra and
Okay.
each energetic center and each emotion. I started taking it, breaking it down, each one, and I
Wow.
started making decisions on each one. And what I found was every time I made a decision, it was either going up or down in
Hmm.
terms of my logical sense or even a physical sense, right? I was going up and down.
Okay.
And as this was happening, I came up with a formula, right? And what I found is that the formula is universal. And what I discovered is that now, I was able to demonstrate how chakras exist not only inside of your body, but
Mm.
outside of your body, right? Then I figured out, okay, now I can demonstrate how chakras exist in the financial instruments, or in your like in a cup of coffee, or in a sales conversation, or in a marketing. Pretty much everything that you're doing, it can be applied. What I discovered also is that this formula I have developed, is universal, and it can. I looked at successful people, and they were doing it knowingly or unknowingly.
Okay.
They were doing it. So
Okay.
it's actually financial chakras is like um, a methodology, a mechanism, right, by which you can accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish. If you understand the center of your epicenter,
Mm-hmm.
right, who you
Mm-hmm.
are as a person, and
Mm-hmm.
able to align yourself with other people,
Mm.
so that's what financial chakras is, a movement, right? I really want to create a movement between a practical world and the holistic world, and really bridge the gap that has never been bridged. So in reality, like, people say, how do you prove chakras are or energies are real, right? So I have this
Right.
little device. I don't know if you have seen this or not before.
All
Have you
right.
seen this before? Have you seen
No,
this?
no, I haven't.
Okay.
I
All
haven't.
right, great. So this is only on only on this podcast. Okay, this
Yes.
exclusive. Okay, and the so like from a perspective of energies, right? So most people don't understand that energies are real. So, but the question is, how do you prove it, right? So that's
Right.
the question.
Right. Yes.
The healers and the sadhus and everybody has been talking about energies, but
Mm.
the question is, how do you prove it? How do
Mm.
you show
Mm.
it in real world? So I said, okay, I have to come up with my financial brain here. That's where it comes in handy. So I
Sure.
have this Indian brain and a financial brain and an American brain. It's messed up, actually. So, to say the least, I have created a good mess in there. Okay. you know Being here for 30 years.
Yes.
So
Right.
this right here
Yeah.
is a device, right? So basically, this is my secret. So normally what we would do, Pritha, is that when we are in the room, we
Uh,
would hold hands, right, in a circle.
mm.
So this device, everything is a positive and a negative energy, right?
All right.
So what you're going to find is anything that's live, right? If I make this device and I touch it,
Uh,
someplace like to on this computer, right? It
uh,
doesn't do anything. If I
right.
touch it on my glasses, right, it doesn't do anything. Okay.
Okay.
But if I hold this device, and if I touch it with my hand,
Uh,
it lights up, right? It's not plugged into anything. It's completely open. It's not plugged into anything. Okay, it has no look. If anybody wants to see,
uh,
just in case they're doubting, like, it's not plugged into anything. Okay,
right.
so
Right.
it's
Right.
completely open. It doesn't have any batteries.
Mm.
Okay, it
Mm.
does. The only thing it has is little two wires inside of it,
All right.
right?
All right.
And it's literally lighting up because I touch it or I don't.
Wow. All right.
Right. So when you look at, like, any place I have a nerve and I touch it with a nerve,
Mm-hmm.
right, it's gonna light up. Okay, if I touch it anywhere there is no nerve, like I'm touching it on my earlobe right now, it's not lighting up. Okay, see
Right.
this?
Right.
It's not
Right.
lighting up.
Right.
Okay,
Right. Right. Right.
so basically this proves that energy exists. Like, most people, what they don't know, your energetic centers in your body, like, human beings operate at between 3 to 8, or 6 to 8, hertz.
It's actually very very interesting, because to watch this live, and this demonstration that you did, it definitely proves that we all have energy. And yes, the chakras have been a pretty ancient thing for us Indians. At least it has been a pretty ancient thing. Now my question to you is, when you said that, this is, I understand that it is part of our body, and the energy is there inside our body, and that is something which is much believable. But what I find a little unbelievable is when you are saying that it is even outside our body. So when you are saying that even in the businesses that we are doing, there are chakras, or
Absolutely.
in any other work that we are doing, there are chakras. So suppose if I'm doing a business, I would like to attract a lot of financial abundance. What I am trying to understand here is, how do I know that my business also has chakras, and therefore what you're suggesting is to align my chakras with that chakras, right? Then only that
Mhm.
lightning will happen. I have an
Mhm.
energy and the business will have an energy, and then this transfer of energy will happen. But
Yep.
how do I know, or how does my business prove to me that it has that energy?
So in a business world, when you take a look at, so I'll ask you a question, Prita, right? Like, have you been in a, since you do sales coaching, right?
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
So you know, and with me, this happened with me. Okay, so also, so I'll be able to relate with this.
Yeah, yeah.
So in business, like, you know, have you ever had a sales conversation that was actually perfect?
Yes, of course I've had, yes.
You've
I
had
mean,
that, right? Okay.
yeah, by perfect, if you mean that, was I able to drive the entire conversation towards a closure, then yes, of course, that has happened.
Yes, of course. Okay.
Yeah,
So when you take a look at that conversation, right? If you go back to the conversation, okay,
right.
and if you take a look at the alignment between you,
Uh-huh.
the person you were talking to, and
Right,
the product you were offering, right? It
right.
was actually a perfect alignment, perfect fit,
True,
right? So
true.
with the financial chakras formula, like a lot of times what you find, and I'm sure you've had conversations where it just wasn't aligned. No matter what you
Right,
did, it just wasn't coming together, right? So
right,
as a business owner, we cannot waste time with things that don't work for us. We just, you know, it costs us money.
right.
Agreed? So every time you have a wrong conversation, it's costing you money.
Okay,
The question is, how much money is it
right.
costing you?
Mm,
That's the real question, right? So even in life, you know, every time is money,
mm,
right? So I'll give you and so from a perspective of when a conversation is not in alignment,
mm.
right, the feeling you will know energetically that it's not going the right way, you know that.
Okay,
So your business has energetic centers, I promise you, they have same seven chakras as you do. Okay, it has same energetic sense as you do. The
okay.
question is, you know, what is the rule that can help you get to the end game faster?
All right.
So
Okay.
what I find, like when I do consulting work, I'm talking to a client. Literally, I was talking to them right before this call,
Mm,
and this older lady. I'm beginning to help her. I was talking to her, and I could clearly tell that she's very creative, you know, by nature. So she's you know, from chakras, right? She's very active in this Swadhisthana chakra, and
okay.
she's very active in the Anahata chakra. But
Mm,
the problem that I was finding is that her Anja chakra is not, you know, really built, like she doesn't have the ability to put it together in the right way, right?
all right.
So her struggle keeps on increasing. She can't communicate her message.
Okay.
Her, you know, Visuddha chakra is also a little bit of a problem, right?
All
So
right.
as I was talking to her, literally in 1 hour, we put it together, and
Okay.
now she's beginning to see a positive results. Like
Oh.
I did this with somebody actually in India, and
Mm-hmm.
they were investing money in rupees, and they're like, you know, every month I invest, I go down, I lose money, and I
Mm,
don't know what's happening. So
mm.
what was happening was the financial instrument wasn't energetically wasn't built for him. It wasn't built for his primary chakras, like the way he is.
Okay.
Because what I find, if product and services are built for specific type of person or specific, you know, energetic centers,
Mm,
and
mm.
if that's not matched, you will lose, right? So with him, that's what was happening. First month we worked together, we went up in profits by almost 30,000 rupees. And
Okay.
from second month, you know, we had to fix a few more things. We tighten up the belt a little bit. Right now he makes profits every day, and he has complete peace of mind.
Awesome.
So that's what it does,
Awesome.
right? So but you know, that's a clear example of, like, you know, how chakras exist, and I can go into more demonstrations, but for the sake
Yeah,
of
yeah,
time
I
today,
understand. I
you know.
understand. I understand. I think you have quite a lot of these anecdotes as evidences to kind of go ahead and prove about the point that you are trying to make on the financial chakras aspect. What I am picking up here is that you are saying that our financial chakras decide the kind of business that we will be very good at. Now, for some reason, if we have got into a business or a work that is not aligned with my financial chakras or my chakras, or maybe one of the chakras is weak for me, which is therefore causing the trouble in that kind of business. You are suggesting that there could be a remedy rather than just saying goodbye to that business. I can find a remedy and align my chakras in a way that allows me to get success in that business. Is that right? My understanding?
Yes, absolutely. So there is definitely a remedy
Hmm.
when you apply the formulas that I have built in financial chakras, right? And
Hmm.
when you apply in a specific order, they have to go in specific order. What I
Correct.
have found is every other order fails.
Right.
Every other order fails, no matter what it is. So you cannot just randomly apply your
Hmm.
kind of your own order.
Right.
And one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to do some voodoo or anything, but I will teach you real life practical way of doing things,
Uh,
because I'm a practical guy and I have a holistic picture behind me. So
yeah.
it's a very much a good balance, right? So
Hmm.
the point is to make a good balance, right, between your practical and your holistic life. But
Ab-
more importantly, when you apply the financial chakras formula, and
hmm.
you are right, Pritha, is that you are able to create a good balance and go forward much further, much faster. Like what I found is that one of the things I talk about in my book that's going to come out in about 30 to 60 days,
Hmm.
Financial Chakras. Now, in this book, what we talk about is one of the things I've talked about is how do you measure your potential in dollars, and
Hmm.
how do you measure your emotions in dollars?
Okay.
See, people say time is money. The question is how much money?
Hmm.
See, if you understood that your time is worth X, right, in reality,
Hmm.
then you would spend your time wisely,
Right. You are right.
right?
Absolutely.
So if the time is a constant, right? What makes or break you is your emotions,
True. True.
right?
True.
So if you figured out how much your emotions are costing you, or
Hmm.
if you take a look at like a lot of sadhus and a lot of what they have is that they're for what do you call this? Their anja chakra, or you can say like their frontal lobe, right?
Uh-huh.
Is like they have really activated this top part of their region, right? The seventh chakra. They really have activated that really well.
Hmm.
So if you figured out how to do that in a practical world, it's a game changer. It's
Okay.
a complete, you can have the abundance that you always dreamed about.
Hmm.
And that's what I'm trying to say here is that, and you're right about also that when you apply it in the right way, you can
Hmm.
get to your success at a much faster pace. So if you're stuck in a business and you
Hmm.
just can't seem to figure it out, then you apply the formula and you get to your result as easy as like one, two, three. Is that
Fantastic.
simple?
Fantastic.
See, I found in life success is simple.
Huh. Okay.
The solution to success is always very simple,
All right.
but people make it complicated.
That you've put it very simply. In fact, you put it in a very, very simple way that the solution to the success is simple. Probably where people struggle is the way to implement those solutions. Out of the seven chakras, is there any particular chakra which is like more important or the most important that we should be bothered about, and we should probably do something to keep that chakra active and vibrant or something like that?
So Muladhara chakra, I had to work quite a bit on, and I would say like that was the biggest thing because it got me into a situation where
Yeah.
I was, because Muladhara chakra, like your fear, is where that's where it stays, right?
Mm,
Fear, anxiety, uncertainty, those things stay in your Muladhara chakra.
okay.
And that is the hardest thing to work on. And your kundalini actually, when you are awakened, when people are awakened, and it moves up, right? It moves up. And the hardest part is when that is hurt, you are literally paralyzed to some degree.
Wow.
You're paralyzed, and that's the hardest thing to work on. The easiest thing to work on, as a bonus, since you didn't ask me this question, but as a bonus, okay,
Huh.
the easiest thing to work on is actually your anja chakra. you know um, um, when people start, that's why when you start meditating, they say that the white light is, coming down from your seventh chakra. And
Yeah.
so the seventh chakra is like godly state, right? That's very difficult to reach.
Mm-hmm.
But the anja chakra is the first chakra that is. That's why, like, a lot of people who meditate and things like, they when they feel like they're feeling some difference, right? So initially, as human beings, we begin to feel difference because our mind is really, in a calm state. What I would suggest is work on Muladhara chakra and start with Anja chakra first. Start with the small things. Like, people want to accomplish unbelievable things. Like, you cannot accomplish unbelievable things if I cannot get up out of this chair. Then I have to first learn how to get up out of this chair.
True,
So
true,
the
true.
first thing is, make sure you focus on your Anja chakra, and take it from there.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Ash. This was a very, very interesting talk that I had with you. And to all the viewers who are watching this, Ash presented a few very simple aspects of life, yet probably a little difficult to achieve. But it begins from understanding ourselves, and it is all about controlling our seven chakras. We have these seven chakras, and what he very beautifully explained through different anecdotes and examples is that we have these seven chakras that we have within us is an energy, and this is capable of transforming everything around us if we can work on controlling these seven chakras. Aspect of feeling angry, the aspect of getting stressed, like a situation like this in a COVID, when we are forced into a state which we did not want at the very first place. Now the aspect here is that what do we do about it? And the situation is not in our control, but how we deal with the situation is probably will decide how fast we are moving towards success. And this is where I think the entire aspect of these controlling or working on these seven chakras mean. As I would like to end this with the quote that Ash just said, that the we think that it is a difficult problem, or success is difficult. Success is in fact is not that difficult, because the solution towards the success is very, very simple. It is just that we make it complicated in our mind. It was great talking with you, Ash, and thank you all for watching this live and participating with us on this talk show. I will see you all again in the next episode. Till then, take care and stay safe.